In a couple of months' time, this is going to be the setting for the U.S. men's national team camp. But tonight, it is the stage for Orange County and Lexington, a fascinating fixture in the Western Conference as we welcome you into the champ for what should be an excellent 90 minutes. Tyler Terrence along with everyone's favorite Caribbean voice, Ryan Davis, and we are so thrilled to have you with us for a little matchup here west of the Mississippi. And Orange County and Danny Stone have been red hot to start the season, top of the table in the West. They were atop the USL as far as points are concerned, but Ryan, they've gotten it done in a multitude of ways, but at the bare minimum, what we know about this team is they're very good defensively and they can scrap out wins in a few different ways.
If you're going to build a house, you build from the foundation up, and they took care of the bottom floor. Now they just have to find a way to build the roof. The scores will come in the attacking third as the season wears on. Defense first, everything else after.
Well, everything else after has really come in the form of Liam McKinnon, and the young man from Switzerland, Ryan, has been excellent in the attacking third, one of those veteran pieces in this group, although he is 26 years old.
Yeah, he's an athlete, Tyler. He gets after balls, he can put the ball in the air for him, he'll go get it. He can put it behind the back line, he will chase, and when he gets into the 18-yard box, he has that technique to finish. One touch, two touch, makes no difference.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball for Lexington, this is obviously a group that everybody had their eyes on coming into the season with the money spent, with the names coming in. But Ryan, a big part of their slow start, you would have to take a look at their schedule because it hasn't been kind to them at the start of the season.
Not at all, but they did the exact opposite to Orange County. Defensively, they have had some serious woes. 8 goals conceded in their last 5 matches. It's so hard to play when you're always going uphill. You may have a great attack, but always playing behind is impossible.
Meanwhile, Aaron Malloy, one of their big signings in this offseason, has been magnificent, and he continues to prove why he's one of the best midfielders in the USL.
He's an orchestrator on the ball, but also in the dressing room as well. He takes responsibility for their woes, for their problems. He's a real emotional leader for this team, and he might be the way back if he could get locked in tonight.
29-year-old from Dublin has been everything in the middle of the park for Lexington in what few bright moments that they have had this season. Orange County top of the table against Mac Hemmy's Lexington coming up next here on ESPN+. Kickoff just right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
Every morning I draw a line. I've painted thousands of them. The lines are simple, but what happens within them is magical. Some lines divide, but not this one. It's the common thread for our shared love for the game. Soccer, football, call it what you want. This line, this team, it brings each of us to a common ground, the line that connects us. We, OCSC.
At the Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute, we function as a unit. Neurosurgery and neurology, physical medicine and rehab, physical therapy. It's patient-focused, patient-centered care. The future of the neurosciences at Hoag is filled with promise. We are at the cusp of incredible advancements and innovations that are truly going to transform medical care and its delivery. Patients don't just get a doctor when they come to Hoag, they get Team Hoag.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
This is incredible technology. We can actually solve drunk driving.
We are here to send a very strong message. Drunk driving must stop.
We are educators, supporters, listeners, and most of all, we are relentless. Because one life lost is one too many. Together, we can end impaired driving for good. Join the movement. Drive change. Save lives.
Well, this will be the third all-time meeting between Lexington and Orange County. And the match is presented by Raising Cane's, the official chicken finger of Orange County SC. And tonight we will try to figure out if we are going to have finally a winner in this series. 2 dramatic draws a year ago between these two sides. Mohamedou War provided the late equalizer deep into stoppage time in the first meeting, and then the reverse fixture was a 1-1 draw. We'll take a look at the starting 11. Again, Tyler Terrence along with Ryan Davis, and not too many changes here for Danny Stone and Orange Kelly, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The mouth-watering part about this matchup tonight is midfield. Hagar, Kelly, Palomino, Partida, if they keep their shape and they control proceedings in the center circle, who wins in the trenches wins the match. I think Orange County's 4 has a great start, or great advantage tonight.
Meanwhile, for Lexington, still trying to figure out exactly who they are. We're going to see a little bit of a different midfield with Malloy being the lone holding central midfielder.
Yeah, and it brings Goodrum further back, but it allows him to get right underneath Scott and be more involved in the attacking third rather than just being someone receiving passes. Epps is all about the counter-attack on the left-hand side with Epps and also the speedy Zenge. Break up the play in midfield, go out wide, and get the ball into Scott.
Fascinating matchup between a Lexington side that's really looking to get going here in 2026 and an Orange County group that I don't think a lot of people after the first 6 weeks of the season would have pegged them at the top of the Western Conference, and entering this week were atop the entirety of the USL Championship as far as points are concerned. But of course, that was all undone by a big late time game winner for Louisville City earlier in the day. Mohammed Hassan is going to be our referee for this occasion. Orange County looking to make it 5 wins out of their first 8, and Lexington looking for just their 2nd win of the season, as we are going to have a brief delay to start the game.
You know, this Orange County team, when you play at home in front of your fans like this, even though they're not lighting the stage alight with goals, but the fact that you're getting results over and over again, it's something the fans can depend on. They can show up for their hometown team, get a good product on a Saturday or a Sunday, and really feel good about things to head back home. Now for Lexington though, we talked about not having the foundation, a bunch of really good players, but eventually you stick your cleats in the ground, Tyler, and you say, we're not going to go 1 inch back again. Is tonight the night that Lexington take that stand? We shall see.
And now we are officially underway from the champ as we invite you to turn off the world and turn on the game. We're playing for 3 points in the Western Conference. It is 1st place Orange County and 11th place Lexington SC. Tyler Terrence along with everyone's favorite Caribbean voice, Ryan Davis. So thrilled to have you with us as Orange County moving from right to left, Lexington from left to right. And this Lexington side again continues their daunting start to the season as far as opponents played. They have been around the block and then some. Obviously being in the middle of the country playing in the Western Conference makes things a little bit more difficult for them, but it's also been the quality of opponents that they faced, including 2 losses to their arch rivals in Louisville City at the beginning of the season, both in Open Cup as well as regular season play. And that regular season loss at the beginning of the season, especially given the late nature of it, was extremely deflating for this group, as Derby wins, draws, and losses can always be such a crucial part of momentum in which way it swings for your club. Meanwhile, for Orange County, they continue to grind out these 1-goal decisions at the start of the year, and most recently coming off of a 1-0 win against Tulsa.
Tyler, just paying attention to that line of confrontation for Lexington. They're not pushing all the way up to pressure on a full press. They're staying in an imaginary line just at the beginning of the 2nd third of the field. Right here, Goodrum is going to draw that line of confrontation. I think that gives them a chance to keep their lines together and gives them a fighting chance to defend better throughout the match.
It's Chris Hagar coming all the way back to receive, and keeping it moving is Garrison Tubbs, the 24-year-old from Brunswick, Georgia, paired up with Tom Brewitt, the Liverpudlian, in his 2nd season now with Orange County.
You know, you told me about that before the match.
As this is a good ball forward, and it's an early effort that's parried away by Oliver Semley. And the first sign of life from Orange County into the attacking third. And it's the youngster Jameer Johnson who's getting in behind the back line.
Well, the scouting report on Benalcazar is that he can pass from out from the back, but that was an absolute exceptional pass by him. Johnson didn't finish, but he made the keeper save. That's what counts.
Jameer Johnson, just 17 years old, from South Jersey and Voorhees, closer to Philadelphia than New York City in that part of the East Coast. And playing his first season of senior level football. Oof. And they were trying to go short from the corner, a bit of a wasted opportunity when you're not even able to get the delivery in. But Palomino.
You know, if you're Lexington, transition is everything today. Yes, Orange County's at home. Yes, they want to boss the ball. I think if you're Lexington, you might want to welcome that a little bit and try to use the pace on the sides, like we mentioned at the beginning, to try and catch them on the counter.
And Alcazar looking for an option, and referee Mohammed Hassan is saying that he crept up a little bit too far forward. Thumped away by Aaron Malloy.
Always awkward for centre backs when the ball bounces.
Heavy touch, and that's Philip Goodrum just trying to link up the pieces for Xavier Zenge, and it's collected by Alex Rando, the 24-year-old from New York City in his first season with Orange County.
No matter how many times I see it, when centre backs allow the ball to bounce, now the forward has all the momentum, the backs are now chasing towards their own goal, and it's usually havoc. That's why coaches always shout from the sidelines, get your head on it, get your head on it.
Orange County have won their last 2 games in a row. 1-0 win at Tulsa, 2-0 win at home against San Antonio FC. And last time we checked, San Antonio actually had a 2-0 lead over El Paso, who are in danger of dropping their first game of the season. One of just 2 remaining unbeaten sides in all of the USL Championship. Tampa Bay Rowdies still unbeaten, 4-0-2 under Dom Casciato. A 1-1 draw earlier today against the Charleston Battery.
You know, when Coach Casciato came in last season, I think it was a good bit of growing pains for him to have a half of a season to see what he needed. And he has a very, very distinct style of play, high press, keep the ball as far away from his goal as possible. Then he went out in the off-season, supported by the Rowdies, and got the players he needed to execute.
Palomino, nice little ball into the middle of the field for Haggard, but a heavy touch, somehow able to atone for his sins and recollect possession. And it's out wide for Mahamadou War. 26-year-old originally from LA, knocked down by Aaron Malloy.
First real sequence for this Lexington team to get some sort of possession.
And that's an awkward bounce for Aaron Malloy. There's been a couple of times where the players have been misjudging the bounce of the ball. I'm not exactly sure if it's the nerves and the cagey affair at the start of the game, or perhaps it's bouncing a little bit differently than they would expect.
I think it's that first 10 minutes, like you mentioned. Try to knock off those nerves right here in this sequence. Give everyone a touch.
Back for Javane Brown, the Jamaican who's getting the start at the left back position. He's been moving around the back line and obviously coming off of ACL and meniscus surgery last year. They're just trying to work him into a spot where he feels comfortable enough to be able to play 90 minutes, and he's been floating in and out of the starting 11 for Mac Hemi.
Coach Hemi loves players who can play 2 to 3 positions. Brown is one of those.
Here's the 25-year-old from Minnesota, Zenge. Lane Ferry will keep it moving, as will Malloy.
You can see Coach Hemi has that defensive posture just in the back of his mind. Zenge is more of like a right back playing at right midfield tonight.
Zenge wanted to run right at the defender, and it's good posture in the end from Orange County. Those are Arturo Ordonez, who was trying to get forward and break up the player, Kendall Burks.
Do you know, Ordonez had some time in the 2nd division, I believe, in La Liga. It's pretty impressive for the Spaniard.
And the injury report is presented by Zolfagari Law. And for Orange County, clean bill of health. Meanwhile, for Lexington, Logan Ketter, Malo Yosef, Luis Felipe, and Jonathan Lewis are all on that list. And here's Javane Brown cutting towards the byline. It's a good-looking ball across, dealt with initially by Orange County, and eventually thumped away by Stephen Kelly.
Have to love when Marcus Epps gets on the ball on that left-hand side. He's so confident. He's seen so many things in his time as a winger that he can create space for other players.
And right on cue, unable to link up with his fellow attacker, and it goes all the way back for Alex Rando.
Did I mention he can create space for other players?
You did. That's just the commentator's curse. We're still only about 7 or 8 weeks in.
Look at the backdrop in Orange County. Just beautiful.
Can't imagine why Mauricio Pochettino would want to spend a month and a half here with the U.S. men's national team. Just recently being announced that this is where the Stars and Stripes are going to make camp during the World Cup. It makes a lot of sense given where their games are geographically. 2 games in L.A., 1 game in Seattle.
And it rarely rains.
But what a nod to Orange County and what they've done with this facility and being able to house a national team and the host national team for a World Cup.
And I love how they always kept in mind, keep it quaint, keep it simple. And the fans are right on top of the field. They didn't use any exorbitant stands, any sort of flash. It looks like an old school soccer park.
And that was a challenge on McKinnon that Danny Stone is not particularly happy with. As Jacob Green tries to keep it in play and ends up winning a throw-in for a side.
You just don't appreciate the tackle from behind, and you can understand why Coach Stone is off of his seat. That's usually like the letter of the law in this sport. If you come in from behind, more often than not, you're going to get penalized.
And McKinnon really slow to get to his feet, and obviously Danny Stone is going to be protective of any of his players, but in particular the player who's really been the go-to guy in the attacking third. Already has 3 goals this season, and what has been the best start for Orange County in club history, exceeding the 2018 team and their start when they got all the way to the Western Conference Final against Didier Drogba and Phoenix Rising.
And you would know a thing or two about that, Tyler.
What a few years that Phoenix Rising had in terms of the amount of talent that they had on that roster. Obviously never came with the trophy that they eventually ended up winning in 2023 against the Charleston Battery, but
what about Solomon Asante? He was a
Solomon
witch.
Asante, Jason Johnson, Kevin Lambert.
I think Kevin Lambert is in Louisville now. So this right here for Lexington, we talked about confidence. They have not accumulated points in recent weeks. Everyone gets a touch here, tries to get that feeling, that good feeling on the ball. Malloy, of course, is going to switch play, switch the sides, and pull the strings. And that diagonal ball is money.
And bringing that down is Xavier Zenge. Aaron Malloy has to take the scenic route to go to be able to collect and make sure that McKinnon can't get there. And first real clear sign of possession that we've seen from the visitors. Here is Ordonez.
You know, people always talk about, well, it's meaningless possession. Well, you're on the road. Your confidence is down, like we just mentioned. And when the other team has to react in their house, it's like body punches in a boxing fight. When you pull the strings and they keep chasing, in the second half, it starts to take effect.
Mac Hemi was not shying away from the fact that obviously it's been a tough start, not making excuses by any stretch of the imagination for the reason for the slow start, but at the same time recognizing that his group's still trying to figure out exactly who they are, getting players back from injury, including Latif Blessing, who is going to be available off the bench today, who has not made an appearance yet in 2026, coming off of an injury. Jonathan Lewis was injured to start the season and then comes back, gets injured again. So they're just trying to figure out exactly who they are, and Mac Hemi confident in the players that they have at their disposal at the moment, knowing that even with those injuries, they still have more than enough talent to be in a better spot than they are right now with only just 1 win.
And also with the big names that they've bought in the offseason, everyone has to get on the same page. Yes, you can have that skill and that technical ability, but if everyone is not on that same page or playing at the same pace, then it gets disjointed and the results just don't come in the last third.
The ball was intended for War. Instead, it's going to fall to Marcus Epps. He's been enjoying life a little bit more over out on that left wing where they flipped him to a couple of weeks ago, having started the season predominantly playing on the right side of the field, but he loves to be able to cut in on that favored right foot and really terrorize the opposition's defense.
I'm such a huge... I just love the fact when wingers could come inside, see the field, and then they have that ability, of course, to explode like Epps has. It's just so much more dangerous than just pulling to the side and trying to whip it in into the trees.
Dane Brown up for a strong header, and Blaine Ferry will clean it up. All the way back for the 26-year-old from Federal Way, Washington, Kendall Burks, originally drafted by the Chicago Fire a few years ago.
And Orange County is making it very clear they're going to press high and often.
Lexington wanted a foul. Kelly gets to the byline, sends it across. Johnson lays it off. Palomino couldn't get his feet sorted out, and it's good defending in the end from Lexington. Blaine Ferry comes away with it.
Talk about getting stuck in. That's exactly the type of challenge they need to set the tone for the rest of the players. You know, their defensive posture when Orange County has the ball is so important to look at. Lexington have to be disciplined and keep their lines tight, stay compact.
Cut out by Jameer Johnson, and a long-range effort in an attempt to chip. Oliver Semle goes over the bar, and the press from Orange County starting to pay some dividends here. Orange County drawing that line in the sand. Now 10 yards in front of where Arturo Ordonez is.
And you're trying to get the head of the snake out of it. See, they're just following Malloy. He's going to have to really, really put some grease to get open. And they're coming all the way out there to stop him from getting control of the ball.
And he's having to work really hard off of it to be able to get a touch, but here he is.
He's so good. Has that ability like Xavi, just to pop up like a mole in off of a lawn. Where there was no holes before, he just pops right up and becomes available.
I had to kill a couple of those on my front lawn last week.
Just think of Xavi every time you kill one.
Fair enough. I still won't feel bad. Malloy.
I wish I can count the amount of touches that he's had in the last 60 seconds. Impressive. And in traffic.
And this one sprayed towards Zenge. And the foul going to be called against the former Columbus Crew 2 man. And that's the thing with this Lexington side so far this season, Ryan, is that everybody keeps talking about how it's been so good for Mac Hemi's group, basically from the penalty box to the other penalty box. And they just can't seem to find the finishing touches on the attacking side of the ball, and then some things collapse defensively. But everything in between has been really, really good. And I think that was another indication where they're so good with the ball at their feet, but it's just those few moments to be able to really unlock the defense.
Yeah, one of the things we've seen with Lexington is that they have, we talked about how good the players are top, right? Epps, so Goodrum, Zenge, and Henry Scott, is that they're too...
There's a slip, and the referee says play on. And this is sent across the middle, and Rando's able to handle it.
Sometimes there are too many ideas. There are too many thoughts going on in the attacking field. Sometimes you have to just streamline it, get direct, and keep it simple. And that's one of the things Coach Hemi talked about with their problems in the attacking third, that the players really have to trust the process and be more direct, closer to the box.
Kelly on the turn. Palomino was going to try to just let it run through to Mohamedou War, who's still shouting for it at the top of your screen. And this is a big switch coming along for Nico Benalcázar. Hagar.
Now it's the home team's turn to take advantage of some possession.
Bit of a mistouch there from Green, and that's Semle trying to keep it in play, and apparently he does. And the USL on CBS Sports Network wraps up the month of April with the Prince Tires USL Cup Group 5 match. Northeastern rivals Hartford Athletic and Rhode Island FC battle it out at 7 p.m. Eastern on April 25th. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network.
Now, we saw Assembly save a few seconds ago. Did not have a good game against Rhode Island a week ago. And confidence is everything for goalkeepers. And the more often that Assembly can get the ball in his hands in the opening part of this match, the better.
Great matchup here with Epps and War. Epps gave it away straight to Stephen Kelly. A little bit of a nibble from Zenge after the ball had already been played.
And coaches love that. They want their attacking players. They want the centre backs to be icing their ankles when their centre forwards are around. You want that aggression, especially in the modern game.
Palomino just trying to battle his way through.
You know, after talking to Coach Stone yesterday, and he was talking about the balancing act for this club, bringing young players in, very much a focal point for them, and bringing experienced players in and making it very clear to those experienced players that they're there not only to win, but to guide these youngsters through the path of their career. And I think that's very interesting to put that, I wouldn't say added pressure, but to give that direction to an experienced player that they have. If you want to come and join this club, this is part of the course.
Zenge, early delivery towards the back stick. It was a teasing ball. Falls for Epps, and he puts it on frame. And it's covered up by Alex Rando.
Well, encouraging, good ball from the right-hand side. Zenge is always going to ask that question. He's a righty on the right. Any sort of width he gets, he's going to whip it in. Just hope that Marcus Epps, he had a lot of time there to really give the keeper a little bit more to think about.
Tom Brewitt. Up steps Javane Brown, an important challenge that might allow Sporting to break on the other end, or Lexington rather. And there's a foul in the middle of the park here at the Champ, and it looked like for a moment that Kevin Partita was going to get a yellow card.
I think he thought it too. Well, Partita is a rough man in midfield. He's going to get stuck in and coming right through Goodrum. But if the referee was not going to give a yellow card for the challenge on close to our sideline, coming at the back of the player, at least he's consistent, and that's all players want.
Now, midway through this first half, and a decent set-piece opportunity now for the visitors. Just clipped in towards the back stick. One initially by Orange County. Zenge on the follow-up. Shouts for a handball, and the referee just totally waves it off. He does say it's a corner, however. Lexington are adamant that that was a handball.
Well, there was a lot of discussions last summer in FIFA about trying to not really change the rule, but soften the rule when the ball hits the player's hand in the box. They thought the penalties were being given away far too easily. Now, referees are being asked if the ball plays the player like that, there was no chance of him getting away. His hand was in a natural position. It wasn't unnatural. That they're going to be a little more lenient on the defenders.
Meanwhile, the referee still hadn't finished up talking to whoever was pleading their case from Lexington, so they'll do that all over again. Blaine Ferry, the Texan native. Won initially by Lexington and out of play for a goal kick. And OCSC is coming to Santa Ana on next month, May 23rd, for the biggest night in club history. OCSC turning Eddie West Stadium in Santa Ana into our home for the evening as the County Boys kick off against the Oakland Roots. Make sure to grab your tickets today. You don't want to miss it. Should be a great matchup with Ryan Martin's side, who they just took down at Oakland a few weeks ago. Followed that up with their lone loss of the season against New Mexico United.
Ryan Martin is a real trailblazer in this league. Has new ideas in attacking play, and he allows his players to be as creative and as adventurous as they want to be.
Well, they're in action tonight against FC Tulsa, and the Roots currently have a 1-0 lead. Wolfgang Prentice, who's gotten off to a really good start, he's got another goal tonight. Meanwhile, El Paso Locomotive have come all the way back to draw San Antonio FC at 2 apiece right now in the 67th minute. They were trailing 2-0. How about the job Junior Gonzalez has done going over to El Paso and currently has them unbeaten through their first several games of the season.
I mean, forget that. I want to think of, I just heard the first name. Was it Wolf what?
Wolfgang.
I mean, you have no choice but to play professional sports if your name is Wolfgang.
Or you could be a chef.
Yes. One of the two.
Ferry. Goodrum. This is where Orange County can make life really difficult for you in the middle of the field. There's really no room to breathe.
I mean, conceding 3 goals in the last 5 matches tells the story. They don't give an inch in their defensive third.
Cut out by War. And here comes Orange County, cut out by Jacob Green just at the last moment. He turned his head just in time to be able to cut out the pass. Flipped all the way over to the far side for Zenge. Needed to be really good with his feet in order to keep that in play, and is unable to do so.
They always seem to ask that question. They get the ball in midfield, string 2 passes together, and either Epps or Zenge is that corner flag pass for them to try and get behind the back line and either drag it back on top into the middle or cross it into the box.
And is that because of the way that Orange County are set up defensively, making the team play around them?
So compact.
Yeah.
That's where all the space is. So if you get it towards that corner flag, then you can push your team up into an attacking position. But now Zenge and Epps are your playmakers. They have to decide where the ball goes next.
Well, to be fair, they have the players to be able to technically strike that kind of ball. And Louisville City, opening week of the season, really struggled to deal with that ball over the top. And Lexington probably felt like they should have scored probably a goal or 2 more than they did on the day to be able to at least get something out of that game against what was then Danny Cruz's side. But something that they certainly have relied upon if they need to is going route 1, and that's a good thing. You don't have to be a team that strings together 25, 30 passes every single time you have the ball at your feet. You need to be tactically flexible is the buzz phrase that's going around these days.
Yeah.
Although don't tell that to Mikel Arteta.
I wouldn't say a word.
Tom Brewitt getting forward. Jameer Johnson popping off the back line. I'll tell you what, he's looked not a hair out of place. 17 years old, getting a start here tonight. Already has a few goal contributions to his name this season in about a little more than 100 minutes played. Hagart. It's not a bad looking ball, but it's met by Kendall Burks. And that one skips all the way through and out of play. Fans, get ready. Orange County SC is joining the dark side on Saturday, April 25th for Star Wars Night. And our first uncorked event of the season. Come out dressed in your best galactic gear, and may the Force be with you all night long. Grab your tickets now while you still can at orangecountysoccer.com/tickets. That's the point where you're supposed to do your Chewbacca roar.
May the Fourth be with you.
There you go. Well, I almost feel like you shouldn't be doing the Star Wars Night if you're not going to do it on May the 4th. You gotta wait till next year until you're on the schedule for a May 4th game.
Had the opportunity to call a game, I think the Oakland Roots game on May the 4th. The May the 4th banter began in about the first minute of the commentary. We didn't finish till about the 93rd minute. It was fantastic.
Well, now I got to ask, who is your play-by-play right now?
Joe.
Joe Malfa?
Yeah, we had a great time. We dragged everything up from the original Star Wars.
I hope you made a couple of Yoda jokes for our short friend.
It was... But he and I share the same plight, so there were two Yodas in the building.
Palomino. This one has snow coming down on it and overcooked.
Love the ball, though, trying to get behind the back line. It was all about the second ball to tap it across into the mixer. But this Orange County team, we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast. Hilgart, Kelly, Palomino, and Partida. They're a four-man midfield. They have to control proceedings in the middle of the park. They cannot afford the three-player midfield of this Lexington team to get control in the center circle.
Orange County coming with that high press again. They've done it a few times where they really are just relentless in the way that they try to get after Lexington. And you just wonder if that's going to be a yellow card. It certainly looked like the prevention of a promising attack going the other way, as Tom Brewitt, with his tail between his legs, makes his way back and looks like he was shown a yellow.
Thank goodness. The pull of the shirts, I mean, in any walk of life, that is a yellow card, especially on the USL Championship on a Saturday night in Orange County. Lovely turn by Epps, something we expect from the former US national team player. And left for dead was Brewitt, the skipper for today. We talked about former Liverpool player.
Former Liverpool Academy, and actually got called up to train with the first team on a number of occasions, getting to train with the likes of Steven Gerrard and Luis Suarez. You would not get away. You would not get away with grabbing Luis Suarez in training like that.
Absolutely not.
Might come away with a couple of bite marks.
That's right. That was the Brendan Rodgers era.
Absolutely.
Love it. Trying to think of the centre backs. Daniel Aga, maybe?
Martin Skirtle.
Martin Skirtle.
That's when the Reds were bleeding 3 or 4 goals a game.
So there's that imaginary line again by Lexington, trying to keep their lines as close as possible. They're not pushing all the way forward and trying to press, trying to stay compact, trying to stop the bleeding. Like we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, it's so hard to play when you're trying to catch up or go uphill. So they're trying to keep the score as level as possible when they don't have the ball.
Here's Tubbs getting forward, the former DC United product. And Alcanzar. Long for Brewitt. And Lexington happy to let the home side have the ball just where they are. Trying to bait them into playing into the middle of the field, just like you saw. And Palomino forced to go in a negative direction.
We have Haggart over here getting some chalk on his boots. Just want to know when they decide to come to the left.
Zenge almost was able to pick the pocket of Tubbs. This launched over the top. McKinnon might be able to get there, but it's a smart header in the end from Kendall Burks.
Love it. Center back, the ball is coming over his shoulder. He has a striker on his other shoulder and has the wherewithal to just nod it back to his keeper.
Malloy just so busy in the middle of the park.
Like a mole on your lawn, Tyler. Busy
not on my lawn.
Busy as a mole. How many Chavis have you killed? Look at yourself.
You're not going to get me to feel bad, I promise you.
All right, how many Aaron Malloys have you killed?
No less than 16, no more than 18.
Serial mole killer.
Did Anakin Skywalker feel guilty when he killed all the younglings? No, he didn't.
Now you have to breathe into the microphone like Darth Vader just to finish it off.
Palomino drives it towards the back stick. Kazar trying to find some wiggle room to be able to deliver, and Lexington not having any of it. And the assistant referee and head referee were looking at each other trying to figure out where the call was going to go, and it will be a corner for Orange County.
Well, a chance to get Bruitts and Tubbs up into the 18-yard box. The two center-backs are making their way. Always, it's so important at the beginning of a season to give your center-backs a target. 3 goals apiece, 4 goals apiece. It takes so much pressure off the strikers if they can get goals on set pieces.
Outswinger from the Scot, Stephen Kelly. Good-looking ball in, and it's won by Tubbs. Spilled out in front. Brewitt was there, and Lexington are desperate for their whistle to be blown, and potentially a yellow card given to Brewitt as well, who just saw one. He was a little bit heavy heading into that challenge. Semble is injured, and a lot to sort out here for the referee. And you can see the look on the face of Aaron Malloy. He's looking at Brewitt saying, you were late heading into that. He already had the ball. And Lexington are trying to will this into existence now with Brewitt seeing his second yellow card. And it appears, at least for the moment, the referee's already made his decision and no cards are going to be given out. We'll obviously have the benefit of replay. There's no VAR.
Well, Brewitt is never going to back down on a 50-50 or a loose ball. He's going to throw his body in there. And Semley got the short end of the stick. And Aaron Malloy, like a real mole, is getting right up in the referee's face to make sure that he gets that second yellow card.
So the initial header from Tubbs was directly at Semley, but he spills it after it took a deflection.
The Tubbs header was so impressive. Right there. Semley takes a second grab. Ooh, and a cleats to the jaw. But you have to say that Brewitt was going for the ball.
But he didn't get anywhere close to the ball, and he kicked him in the face.
He's a centre-back going for the ball with his foot, okay? He's not going to be anywhere near the ball, okay? I know. Well, but here it is. Keepers, 10 years ago, that's a yellow card, no chance. But they're allowing keepers to be confronted in the last 3 or 4 years. So that's consistent with the no call.
But I'll also tell you what, if we did have VAR in the USL Championship right now, I don't even know if that would be overturned, because as the law states at the moment, that's not a reviewable offense because it would be his second yellow card. It's not a direct red card. So even if there were video review, that probably would have stood the way that it is.
It always looks worse on VAR, true? It really does.
Well, he did kick him in the face. We can't get around that.
That never looks polite, no. I understand, but still.
I can try it on you at halftime and we can just recreate the whole thing.
Kicking a commentator in its mouth, that has to be like the worst injury a commentator can get.
Probably.
Break a finger, break a knee.
Occupational hazard, yes, yeah, those are fine.
Break a tooth or a lip, that's it.
It's disrespectful, it's your livelihood.
It is. Now a chance for Orange County to start dictating the play again. Before that sequence of the corner, the home side starting to get on the ball and make Lexington go from left to right.
Tubbs. It's Jameer Johnson dropping all the way back to receive the ball, almost operating as a left back at the moment. And there's 2 of those things on the field. We only need 1.
I love the referee. Play on. Does he not see the ball on the field?
Ball boy wasn't exactly sure what to do there. You had it right the first time, young man. And you don't have to be on the roster to get on the field here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Orange County Soccer Club offers group experiences that let fans be a part of the match day action. Groups of 10 or more can receive discounted tickets and even access on-field experiences like player walkouts, halftime activities, and post-match games on the pitch. If you're planning a team event, birthday, or company outing, visit orangecountysoccer.com/group tickets to learn more.
Look at Zenge coming all the way back from that very high right midfield to pick up his defensive responsibilities. Do you think Coach Hemi is thinking about his defensive posture on the road tonight in Orange County? Is tonight, Tyler, the night they stick their cleats in the ground and say, we're not going to go any further back? It's Helms deep in Orange County. No more bleeding.
That's certainly the hope for the supporters who are staying up late in the Central Time Zone, but at the moment, still 0-0 between Orange County and Lexington as this ball is whipped in with plenty of pace. Won by Lexington all the way back out and eventually cleared away, but not out of trouble. Great feed from Blaine Ferry, beautiful. And here comes Xavier Zenge, and it's a 3-on-2 if they play this correctly, as Zenge tries to bend that around the entirety of the back line. And it was Epps who was a little bit behind the play. A thumbs up of approval for the idea, but the execution was a little bit off.
Well, I love the break, love the counter. Zenge was doing the dirty work in the back line. Ball played in his stride. You just want to see Zenge just be a little bit more adventurous. Ask the question, not just take responsibility off of himself. But we did mention he has more defensive qualities than attacking qualities, so I think that was shown. Had a goal against Colorado 2 weeks ago that we can speak about.
Well, that win against Colorado looks fantastic now, at least from an Orange County standpoint, especially the way that Colorado's been playing as of late. Huge win against Sporting Kansas City in a cup set in the U.S. Open Cup, and then...
Let's talk cup sets. We got a lot more to talk.
Tell you
Louisville,
what.
one Knoxville. I mean...
The one Knoxville one was the one that did me in. That game was properly unhinged.
And it's the beauty of the cup, right?
Absolutely.
It's the beauty.
Blaine Ferry sends this over the top, and...
Can you say beautifully unhinged?
Beautifully unhinged.
That was it.
As my grandfather would say, delicious chaos.
And he's only 102 years old. What does he know?
He was around for the 8th edition of Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
That final product in the last third, Coach Hemi was humming and hawing about that. Too many ideas. You just want to see that pass into the stride of Marcus Epps so they can continue on. And they're suffering a lot, Lexington. So when they do get the chance to break, that pass really has to be on point so you can get the reward of the suffering.
Jameer Johnson just skipping around Jacob Green, and that should be a card as well on the young man who came over from the likes of DC United as well as Loudon.
Well, he's all smiles, Johnson. Turning, twisting, changes pace, off the field, comes back on the field. Have you ever seen the Roadrunner outrun the Coyote?
Absolutely.
That was another scene. He was about to leave the defender in the dust with one more stride.
Gareth Bale-esque.
Yes.
Getting shoved out of play and then
San Siro.
somehow back onto the field of play and striding forward.
Jacob Green just gathered all the pride he had and tugged on that shirt.
Again, floated towards the back stick. Kept in play, says the AR. Sent back across. Kelly takes another swipe at it. And this one is over the crossbar. Small business leaders, this is your moment. Introducing the Support OC Small Business Packages. Get your brand in front of fans across SoCal with special features on match day. Host clients, reward employees, and build business opportunities. Head to our website to learn more.
I'm going to say it, Tyler. This game needs a goal. It needs a goal.
You're telling me. Is that your expert analysis?
I put a lot of thought behind it, and it needs a goal. I love the fact that both teams, their defensive posture is so clear and how much they're focusing on it, especially Lexington. They need to focus on it. Orange County, it's their identity, their defensive posture. Now, there needs to be more thought coming forward. It can't be just be running through Malloy and out to the sides, but right here, this ball coming inside needs to dictate the chance that's going to be created for Lexington. Where do we go from here?
This is where they typically have been getting stuck, not only tonight, but really for the majority of the season thus far. They have to circle all the way back around. Credit to Orange County being able to force them in a negative direction, but here comes Marcus Epps, sizing up War. Great little matchup here that War has gotten the better of Epps on a couple of different occasions. This gets sent across the middle of the penalty area, dealt with by Tom Brewitt, and now Orange County will try to play out. But they're squeezed into giving the ball away, and Malloy and company will keep it. Cool head from Jacob Green.
But when the ball goes out to Zengi and Epps, we talked about this new formation tonight. It's almost like a V with Malloy at the bottom of the V in the middle of the park. Where's Goodrum and Ferry to support the play?
Zengi with a rather hopeful cross, but it takes a deflection and out of play for a Lexington corner.
It looks like Goodrum and Ferry push up behind Scott and become like a 3-forward tandem. But there's no short pass to get to them.
Is it too crowded?
But there's no link-up pass when the ball goes outside. There's too much of a gap between the let's call it the 3 forwards now to the wingers.
Two minutes of stoppage time at the minimum at the end of this first half. Aaron Malloy on top of the corner, and the skipper will deliver an outswinger. Malloy, excellent looking ball. Pops back out to the edge of the penalty area. Epps keeps it alive. Back from Malloy. Floats another good looking ball in. This is headed straight down and punched over the bar by Alex Rando. And he needs to be really sharp.
Well, they get all disjointed after the corner was taken care of. It pops back out, and guess who delivers a peach? Aaron Malloy, one-timer to the last post. Excellent header, great technique with the header. And good save in the end by Rando. You always say good morning when you're heading a ball inside of the box, and he did exactly that. He was very polite.
Another corner here for Lexington as the pressure is starting to mount on the home side towards the end of this first half. Another good looking ball in, and that's met. It looked like Arturo Ordonez, and he was claiming that last touch came off of Orange County, but the referee disagrees, and it's a goal kick.
Tell you what though, Lexington, without those last 2 sequences from Epps and company, that's a feel-good moment to take into the dressing room on the road against the #1 team in the West. Uh-oh.
And a little bit of a brouhaha starting to boil over in the middle of the park at the Champ, and there's still some shouting going on. Mohamedou War was involved. Javain Brown was barking at the right fullback, and some tension starting to boil over here in what has been a relatively physical first half. It hasn't really been anything out of the ordinary, just a normal USL Championship night in Southern California, but not exactly sure what started all that.
Also some tired legs. There's an internal clock that soccer players have.
And the referee is going to call the first half.
He also has an internal clock. He knew the 45 minutes were up. I tell you what, both teams getting stuck in the middle of the park. They're both cancelling each other out in the attacking thirds. It's going to take a shot from outside or something special to break this tie.
Well, we haven't seen that special individual effort or perhaps grave mistake just yet, as Orange County and Lexington all square at 0-0 as we head to the big intermission here at the Champ. Mac Hemme and Danny Stone will try to figure it out at the half. Don't go anywhere.
This is Tom Brewitt, OCSC captain and today's creative director. Come on, get him working the camera a little bit. Stay there, look down the camera. No, just that could be amazing. Do you like the colour, do you like the design, do you like the lines? Do you know what the lines represent? 34 lines for 34 cities.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
At the Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute, we function as a unit. Neurosurgery and neurology, physical medicine and rehab, physical therapy. It's patient-focused, patient-centered care. The future of the neurosciences at Hoag is filled with promise. We are at the cusp of incredible advancements and innovations that are truly going to transform medical care and its delivery. Patients don't just get a doctor when they come to Hoag, they get Team Hoag.
This is incredible technology. We can actually solve drunk driving.
We are here to send a very strong message. Drunk driving must stop.
We are educators, supporters, listeners, and most of all, we are relentless. Because one life lost is one too many. Together, we can end impaired driving for good. Join the movement. Drive change. Save lives.
Still no score between Orange County and Lexington, but that's because we're at halftime and we only got there about a couple of minutes ago as the folks at the Champ are enjoying a beverage, enjoying a little bit of food, and enjoying a break from the action. And as of late, there has been some USL standouts who have been getting it done on the international stage.
With the field for World Cup 2026 now set, the USL can enjoy its place in the countdown to history. Never before has an active USL player taken part in a World Cup, until now. For the past 2.5 years, more than 30 players from USL Championship and League One battled through World Cup qualifying. This summer, 6 of them have a chance to hit the field for their respective countries. Miami FC teammates Eloy Rom and Jurgen Locadia made history, helping Curacao qualify for the World Cup for the first time ever. Curacao will face Germany, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador in group play. And for the first time since 1974, Haiti will take part in the World Cup, following a very unique road through qualifying. 4 championship players, Duke Lacroix and Garvin Matusala of Colorado Springs, Delence Pierre from FC Tulsa, and Carl Sente from New Mexico United, led Haiti through qualifying without playing a home match. Now the Haitian team faces a tough group at the World Cup with matches against Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. But while World Cup qualifying owned the spotlight in late March, several USL players took part on U.S. youth national teams, also on the world stage. Colton Swan of Charleston Battery scored a goal for the U.S. Under-20 team against Argentina in Argentina. Orange County SC's Tyson Espy played for the Under-17 team in Paraguay. And the U.S. Under-18 team played in Portugal, featuring Ramiz Hamuda from Birmingham Legion, Brandon Days of Louisville City, and Jameer Johnson from Orange County SC.
This week on USL All Access, more interviews, less of us. The Detroit midfielder Maxi Rodriguez.
Looking for that back post again, Rodriguez scores! That's the way to start it for Detroit City at home!
The El Paso manager Junior Gonzalez, and plenty of talk about the Open Cup and those unbeaten and those recently beaten in the league. You'll see it SiriusXM FC or the USL YouTube page every Tuesday night.
This one slipped through nicely for Williams! Shining once again for Hartford. Quizera settles. Dodea Quizera!
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything. This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Every morning I draw a line. I've painted thousands of them. The lines are simple, but what happens within them is magical. Some lines divide, but not this one. It's the common thread for our shared love for the game. Soccer, football, call it what you want. This line, this team, it brings each of us to a common ground, the line that connects us. We, OCSC.
It is halftime at the USL Championship. Time for headlines around the league. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Great job this week by Louisville City and Colorado Springs Switchbacks with cup sets in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup. Louisville knocked off Austin FC 2-1, while Colorado Springs dominated Sporting Kansas City 3-0. El Paso Locomotive is literally beginning to motor its way through the championship. After their 4-0 win at Hartford Athletic, El Paso moved into second place in the Western Conference. El Paso is tied with Louisville City for most goals scored heading into Week 7 with 14. USL's young players continue to shine in the spotlight, and this week we feature Brandon Days of Louisville City. The U.S. Youth International scored his first professional goal last weekend. Some of his measurables include 21 clearances already, and he has won close to 60% of individual duels during matches played. The USL Championship has a pair of upcoming national broadcasts. Next Saturday is El Clamico in the Prinks Tires USL Cup. Then on Saturday, May 2nd, Detroit City hosts Louisville City. Both matches are on CBS Sports Network. Those are your championship headlines. We're getting closer to the second half. Let's get you back out to your match.
Well, it's been another awesome day of USL Championship soccer, and it started out with a national broadcast over on CBS Sports, Charleston Battery, and Tampa Bay Rowdies are scoreless through the first 79 minutes. There was 2 goals in a matter of about 90 seconds. It finishes in a 1-1 draw. Tampa Bay still unbeaten, now the only unbeaten team in the USL Championship, because earlier tonight, no more than a few minutes ago, Ryan Davis, San Antonio and El Paso Locomotive played to an all-time classic. Christian Pirano won it in the 90th minute to be able to give San Antonio the win and El Paso their first loss of the season. What else sticks out?
Miami, they were on such a good run, but to go down 3-0 to Phoenix was humbling. And also,
at home, no less.
At home as well. And San Antonio, you just mentioned 3-2. What a match. Oakland Roots continue to strive forward. 1-0 at halftime at home against a very good Tulsa team. And 0-0 Hartford and Loudoun.
Well, the fans continue to enjoy everything that the champ has to offer, pom-poms alike, as well as some good-looking hats and some good-looking fans as well. And Ryan Davis. We'll be back with second half kickoff.
Every morning I draw a line. I've painted thousands of them. The lines are simple, but what happens within them is magical. Some lines divide, but not this one. It's the common thread for our shared love for the game. Soccer, football, call it what you want. This line, this team, it brings each of us to a common ground, the line that connects us. We OCSC.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
At the Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute, we function as a unit. Neurosurgery and neurology, physical medicine and rehab, physical therapy. It's patient-focused, patient-centered care. The future of the neurosciences at Hoag is filled with promise. We are at the cusp of incredible advancements and innovations that are truly going to transform medical care and its delivery. Patients don't just get a doctor when they come to Hoag, they get Team Hoag.
This is Tom Brewitt, OCSC captain and today's creative director. Come on, get him working the camera a little bit. Stay there, look down the camera. No, just believe that could be amazing. Do you like the colour, do you like the design, do you like the lines? Do you know what the lines represent? 34 lines for 34 cities. Yeah, safe.
Tom Brewitt, the ultimate scouse, but perhaps not the ultimate creative director, and maybe should stick to defending, which he's done quite well thus far at the beginning of the campaign and in the first half. 0-0 between Orange County and Lexington. Tyler Terrence, along with everyone's favorite Caribbean voice, Ryan Davis. So glad to have you with us. And if you didn't catch the first half for whatever reason, spoiler alert, there were no goals. You didn't miss a ton. And that's because both of these sides have really been going at it from a defensive standpoint. This was arguably the best chance of the game so far, and it came within the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, Ben Alcazar's fantastic pass, getting the best, and that was Johnson's strike, getting the best out of Semley. But both teams were so good defensively, getting behind the ball, getting numbers into the box. But this skirmish may have been the best sequence so far in the half. It was the big centre-back Tubbs. Semley gets to the save, but look at Brewitt come in, cleats up, right into the jaw of the away goalkeeper, right there. And that's going to leave a mark, Tyler.
And that was just moments after Tom Brewitt had received his first yellow card. He did not get a second, so Tom Brewitt stays on the field, perhaps a bit lucky, but nevertheless, here's how the numbers shook out. And honestly, 4 shots on target for that first half honestly seems a little bit generous, but again, it feels like both teams are really teetering on perhaps unlocking the other.
I mean, but if you tell Lexington this, that you're going to play the best team in the Western Conference, possession is pretty much even, corners are even, shots are even, I think Coach Hemme is going to take this. This is a win for the team that's trying to stop the bleeding and trying to make a statement internally.
And perhaps a team that's a little bit deeper in terms of experience and talent on the bench, so if they can continue to sort of play in this vein and keep it 0-0 into the 60th minute, into the 70th minute, then you could start to bring on the likes of a couple of the more big hitters. You might be able to get Latif Blessing on, who's on a minute restriction. We hear between 15 and 30 minutes is what he's available for. So everything to look forward to, everything to play for in this second half. Meanwhile, you mentioned Mac Hemme and how he might be feeling. How's Danny Stone feeling, given perhaps another lackluster start to a game, particularly in the attacking third?
I think he doesn't mind. He loves the fact that they are so sound defensively. And if he would like, in the last 20 minutes, to bring some more attacking players and sort of alter his formation to be more attacking in the last 20 minutes, I think he'll take that. I think that's their MO. This is their ID. And I think Danny Stone is not going to complain as yet. Let's wait till the last 20 minutes and see.
Usman Silla is somebody obviously we're expecting to see at some point for Orange County. Central midfielder who's just an absolute menace on the ball. Ethan Zubak obviously an option, still working his way back into full match fitness, as we will have a delay to start this second half.
Have to love USL Championship fans. They show up young and old. Hot dogs, drinks, popcorn. Oh, that's it right there. Number 3 being brandished. Paula Maldini. Maybe she's a fan.
Oh, wow.
Of the famous number 3. And look at these scarves. I love it. it is just flowing through the U.S. soccer landscape. Do we call him La Naranja? Orange?
Sure.
Yeah? La Naranja.
And the second half is officially underway from the champ. Again, Tyler Terrence along with Ryan Davis, thrilled to have you with us on this Saturday night here in Southern California. And still no score between the #1 side in the West and a group that certainly has sky-high expectations in Lexington. And they're hoping that today could be a launching pad into some brighter days in what has been a pretty dark start to the season. Just one win through their first several matches, but obviously the context being some injuries, a lot of new pieces trying to gel together, as well as an extremely difficult strength of schedule to begin 2026 as Epps lets it run. That's Philip Goodrum trying to win the ball back in a dangerous spot, and it will be a throw-in, albeit about 109 yards away from goal.
You know who we might be able to see coming off the bench? Ethan Zubak, the big target man. So if you're 109 yards away from goal, you just throw it up to him, you lay it off.
Easy enough.
And you're in.
Yep. Should have been a coach.
Should have thought about this. I need like 10 Ethan Zubaks.
Long throw in from the Jamaican international, Jermaine Brown. And it looks like getting some instruction from one of the supporters as well, who he's standing next to as he's lining up this long throw-in. Decent looking ball in, won initially by Lexington, but into the hands of Alex Rando.
Well, he had a generally quiet first half because Orange County, again, kept Epps and Zenge out wide, kept them at bay, never really got behind the Orange County back line. I believe there was one header at the back post in which Rando had to save. And it just shows their defensive discipline, this Orange County team. So hard to beat. Thing is, you're never, I'm just going to put this out there, you're never going to win the league playing defensively. You can win a cup or a playoff run playing defensively, but you're never going to challenge someone who's going for 3 points every single week, who's rolling the dice and going after it. The fortune favors the brave in this sport in the long term. And I think this Orange County team is really built for a playoff run in the latter part of the season, from what we've seen.
Are you making a larger commentary on perhaps a title race that's going on right now across the pond? Because there are some Arsenal supporters out there who would probably beg to differ that you can't win playing defensive minded. But anyway, here's Orange County on the move, trying to be bold and trying to get that fortune favoring them, but it's cut out and it's out of the reach of Goodrum, and both teams are changing hands in possession. Brewitt trying to thread the needle for Kelly, and he gives it away.
Now this man has so much responsibility on his shoulders, and of course he oozes that confidence and takes the responsibility on Malloy. Just want to see more orange shirts around him, not only here, and there's that diagonal ball again. There's no plan B though. Like when Malloy gets trapped there, can you just then recycle the ball and bring it back around? Does it always have to be that diagonal or corner flag pass to Zenge or Epps? There just seems to be not many ideas at that part of the field when Malloy is trapped.
Well, how many times have we seen the ball fizzed into the feet of Malik Henry Scott, and then one of the two double eights who's sitting in front of Malloy running off of him, trying to collect a pass off a first-time ball? Because you would figure that that's part of the idea with having Malloy sit by himself and having Goodrum and Ferry further advanced.
We were hoping to see that sort of support on top of the 18-yard box. But there seems to be there's a big disconnect. Of course, when the ball goes out wide to Zenge or Epps, there's no link-up play, like you mentioned, with the two number 8s with Ferry and Goodrum coming to support for a plan B or to another pass, a third or fourth pass. It just seems to be out wide, either have a very clear cross at goal or recycle the ball around to the next side.
OCSC is coming to Santa Ana next month on May 23rd for the biggest night in club history. Orange County is turning Eddie West Stadium in Santa Ana into our home for the evening as the County Boys kick off against the Oakland Roots. Make sure to grab your tickets today. You don't want to miss it. Battle for Californian supremacy. Ryan Martin and Danny Stone should be a great matchup, and that's a really difficult challenge. Heading into the chest of Chris Hagart. And you wonder if that's going to be a yellow card against Philip Goodrum.
Well, he's a feisty customer, the number 9 Goodrum. He's one of those attacking players that have centre-backs icing their ankles and knees. And you want to see that aggression as a coach. He's been a little frustrated at the start of the season. Usually very much a marksman, having 2 or 3 goals at this point of the season. Hasn't had much to talk about. He's actually one of the top 10 leading scorers in the history of this league. Philip Goodrum has quite the reputation. And we take a quick glance at Brewitt just a second ago. Do you know how much confidence you have to have as a coach in having your centre-back toe the line on a yellow card for a full 45 minutes? I mean, any mistake, he's sent to the showers.
Meanwhile, Blaine Ferry was almost able to latch on to the end of that. And again, Lexington hoping that perhaps Route 1 is going to unlock something in this Orange County defense. But to your point, I mean, there's an immense amount of trust in Tom Brewitt. Again, he's one of the few veterans on this roster. We always talk about how Orange County are not only sporting a lot of young talent on the roster, but they give them opportunities to play constantly. I mean, Jameer Johnson's getting the nod in a huge game against the talented and veteran Lexington side at 17 years of age. Brewitt at 29 shoulders a lot of that responsibility along with somebody like Kevin Partita. Lexington just playing their second season of championship soccer. Of course, coming up from League One a couple of years ago, and for Orange County last year, earned the 7th seed. Knocked off Sacramento in the first round in the 2-7 upset, and then were ousted by New Mexico United in the conference semifinals.
I mean, the state of Kentucky oozes soccer. Of course, you have Louisville, now Lexington. Oh, what a
great little turn from Marcus Epps, and War has a problem now. Epps slows down and now allows double team to come in the form of Chris Hagart. And Ryan, you're pointing to this. You're pointing to the game, basically saying, "Where's the support?" As Epps cups inside again, it's a good-looking ball across. Brewitt gets ahead to it, and then another touch away by Kelly before Goodrum can get there.
I mean, does Ferry need a Christmas card to ask for some support and just to come to Epps one time and try to link something up? As soon as Epps gets the ball, Ozenge, they dart towards the penalty spot in hopes of some sort of delivery to come in. But more often than not, the wingbacks or fullbacks are going to get some support, and there's no way for Epps and Zenge to go.
Mentioned how this was the best start in club history for Orange County coming into tonight's game. 14 points through their first 7 games, averaging 2 points per game. You'd have to go all the way back to 2018, the days of Thomasina Voltson, Hoji Kashimoto, as well as Aiden Quinn to be able to remember
Aiden Quinn.
Those great Orange County sides. And that was when Aiden Quinn was a young rascal running around the field in the Western Conference.
Yes.
Always seemed to be a great attacking player on all these former Orange County sides. You think back to the days of Irvin Parra. Obviously, Thomasina Voltson, the Great Dane, was the center of the attacking nucleus for Orange County for so long. Ethan Zubak has scored bundles of goals for this club.
So funny you brought up Ethan Zubak. He's a tall target. I'm kidding. Brought it up already. But he has 47 goals in the championship. Again, Ethan Zubak. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him eventually to try and give this front line some size and a target man to aim for.
Be remiss if we didn't mention Milan Alaski as well.
Milan Alaski, another fantastic player.
Then went on to go play for San Diego, spent some time in Denmark before coming to Major League Soccer, and then eventually got shipped off to Philadelphia in what was a surprise trade towards the end of last year. As War could ball out wide. This is better movement here from Orange County. And again, it's almost a hopeful ball in with no real name or target on it. And that goes for both sides for the moment.
Right now, Lexington pinned back in their own half. When you're so deep, Tyler, even if you win the ball back, there are no avenues to get out of jail.
Kelly with a beautifully disguised ball. This is stood up towards the back stick.
No one has really got behind each other's back line for the entirety of this match so far. So there's no clear chances being created, as both teams are just willing to have the other team stay in front of them. Even if the ball goes to the side, they're corralled towards the sidelines.
War on the turn. Still going forward. Tug of the jersey. Play still alive. Hagart going for the Travella curler, and that was a half-decent idea, but it was going to take something really spectacular. You would have found your goal this season if he had converted that.
Love the fact that War inverted. He tucked inside, and it gave his number 10 a little bit of room he got to at least get a shot off.
Fans get ready. Orange County SC is joining the dark side on Saturday, April 25th for Star Wars Night, and our first uncorked event of the season. Come out dressed in your best galactic gear, and may the force be with you all night long. Grab your tickets now while you still can at orangecountysoccer.com/tickets.
Can't wait. Star Wars Night.
Some might argue that we're going to be executing Order 66 on April 25th.
Would you like to expand?
Nope.
Okay.
Stay tuned to find out. You might be getting your wish here, Ryan Davis. 2 substitutes, one of them being Usman Silla and a former Herman Trophy winner, and the other being Ethan Zubak.
Who? Ethan Zubak, that's right.
So Palomino and the youngster Jameer Johnson comes off, and despite the fact he didn't touch the ball a ton, when he did get on the ball, he was lively, the 17-year-old.
He was dynamic. He was really trying to get behind the defenders. He tried to run at defenders, got a shot off to bring the best out of Semley. But I tell you what, Sia, the Senegalese midfielder, he's also a direct player. He can take the ball right down the throats of Lexington and provide a lot of support for the other 3 midfielders. Chance for Lexington to have a sequence with the ball at their feet. You look at Orange County, really trying to force their hand with a full press and take the ball out of their possession. Expected goals, Tyler, a whopping 0.3 for
Combined?
Orange County.
Oh, for Orange County.
And a whopping 0.14 for Lexington, as these 2 teams are staring right down the barrel of a stalemate.
Switch over for Mohamedou War. Javane Brown sizing him up, and War wants none of it. And now Partita switching the point of attack beautifully.
Beautiful ball.
But Alcazar cutting inside, and it takes a mean deflection. Brown can't bring it down. Ward heads it along, hoping that Zubac might be able to get there. And now Kelly.
Not sure how many Ethan Zubac's Kelly saw, but that was to no one. You just want to understand what Kelly was thinking of there. You love the fact that he was trying to be adventurous, try to have a forward pass, something to break the lines, but there needs to be more link-up play for each side. When the ball gets in the attacking third, there seems to be some disjointedness from the forward line and the midfield line for both sides.
Garrison Tubbs will just hit the eject button and get it out of any further danger. Ryan McKinnon gets bailed out.
You know, Orange County, we talked about their system, young players trying to groom them, whether it's to sell or to keep. Young Kobe Henry was one of those players, the centre-back, who actually went from the USL and straight to Lyon in France. I mean, that's a huge jump.
Well, Orange County has certainly become one of the hotspots for youth development, and you get that in a number of different places around the world. There just becomes sort of this reputation within a club, or clubs taking on the responsibility of giving young players an opportunity, and agents talk and agents sort of know if they have a young prospect on their hands, as Usman Silla rid of possession by Blaine Ferry almost in perfect fashion, and perhaps something brewing for Lexington. As Goodrum pushes it along, Marcus Epps has a good chance here to run straight at War. Cuts in on that right foot. Looking for an option. Ferry checks his shoulder, asking for the ball, but that moment has passed.
The window closes so quickly, Tyler.
And now Epps will curl it in, and Tubbs got a touch to it, and a corner for Lexington.
And then it's just a hope football in. You really want to see Ferry come close to Epps and give him some support, and then maybe Ferry could be the one to release the ball into the box.
But just to finish that thought, it happens all over the world. Dortmund has become that club, perennially is producing some of the best talent in the world, because agents know and players know that if you want to get minutes at a young age, at a club, to play big-time minutes against grown men, that's the place to do it. And Orange County has certainly gotten that reputation over the past several years of being that type of club at this level here in America.
And still have the ability to lead the conference.
As the foul comes out the other way, and that continues to sort of be the balance that Danny Stone is responsible for trying to find, because it's all well and good to be able to bring up young players, but to also be competitive, to make a run into the postseason, to knock off Sacramento in the first round of the playoffs, and then go on to challenge New Mexico United. That's the real, that's where the cheese lies for a club like Orange County, to be able to do both. As we're going to see change here as Zenga comes off, and Tarek Scott comes on, the 20-year-old from Brooklyn.
Speaking about young upcoming players with lots of potential, Tarek Scott is just a player that can run at defenders. If the ball goes over the top, he can outrun centre-backs to get on the end of it, or full-backs to get out wide. But this man has to get on the ball more often than not. Philip Goodrum. Now look at the disconnect here between Malloy and the attacking number 8s or the forwards. There's a huge gap between the lines of the midfielders and the attacking midfielders, let's say. And now Ferry comes back into play.
Hand of apology from Javane Brown, as that's an uncharacteristic option. Ferry goes to ground, as does Kelly. And it goes all the way back for Oliver Semle.
And this is an absolute compliment to these two teams, defensively, structurally, discipline-wise, how good they've been to just cancel each other out. But I did mention it's going to take some sort of quality for someone to take someone on and then create space for another person to finish, or a shot from outside, or a set piece to separate these two teams. Wow.
And some skill in the middle of the park from Marcus Epps, and trying to spring Henry Scott forward on the other end. Cuts it back. Henry Scott sends it towards the basket, and it's just out of the reach of Tyrek Scott.
Now Henry Scott has been on since he started the match. Look at this ball by Epps. Clever little chip. There's a window here, Tyler, when he snaps it back right there. He had a chance to test Rando at the last post. He's trying to be unselfish, but you kind of want your number 9 to take that responsibility. And if he is going to release the ball like that, that 8-yard pass has to be a little bit more accurate.
Well, you figured that the older brother was trying to set up his younger brother, and there might have been a little bit of connection there, but
I wonder how breakfast is going to go tomorrow morning.
Good.
At that is Scott table with that pass or lack of the pass.
Here comes Scott again down the right flank, and down to play for a goal kick. Tyrek Scott cannot believe it. He was jogging towards the middle of the penalty area, thinking that that was going to be a corner. And you don't have to be on the roster to get on the field here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Orange County Soccer Club offers group experiences that let fans be a part of the match day action. Groups of 10 or more can receive discounted tickets and even access on-field experiences like player walkouts, halftime activities, and post-match games on the pitch. If you're planning a team event, birthday, or company outing, visit orangecountysoccer.com/group tickets to learn more. And the Epps goes down knowing that McKinnon had taken a couple of unsolicited nibbles, and Lexington decides to play quickly.
And you've called his name for the first time in a very long time, Ryan McKinnon. He's been starved for service from the usually dependent Higgart, Kelly, Palomino, and Partida. But because Lexington has been so good with Ferry and Goodrum and Malloy and Zengi when he was on the pitch to get behind that midfield line and defend compact and discipline-wise, McKinnon has been the victim of having no service tonight.
A little more than 20 minutes remaining, and still nothing separates these two sides, although we're not entirely surprised by the way that this game has gone down. Orange County obviously very strong defensively. Lexington have struggled in the attacking third, something that was plaguing them a lot in 2025 as well in their first year in the USL Championship. And as Usman Silla keeps it moving, and Alcazar back for Silla. Stephen Kelly asking for it. Tom Brewitt trying to direct traffic from the center back position. And now Kelly will go long.
I have to say Kelly has not had the best of matches. We've seen him have so much better command of midfield in matches in the past. Today, because of the congestion in midfield provided by Lexington, there's nowhere for Kelly to go.
Oof. And that is a nasty challenge, and the referee is certainly going to have to address that.
Well, talk about frustration from a center forward. McKinnon, we just talk about the lack of service. Well, he just got stuck in and leveled Brown on this near side as he was about to release. Look at the contact. It was heard throughout Orange County. That's going to leave a mark in the mind.
And so Stephen Kelly is going to come off here in the 71st. And Ryan Dogman is going to come on, who's been injured. And finally making his way back out onto the field for Danny Stone. Chance brewing for Orange County. This one goes all the way across the penalty area, and Javane Brown didn't hear the shout from either his center back or his goalkeeper because he had all the time in the world to be able to take a touch, and he puts it out of play for a corner.
Well, the corridor of uncertainty is always a nightmare for defenders. End up facing your own goal, and Brown just apologizing to the rest of his teammates, but nothing to apologize for. He had no idea if there was an orange shirt on his back or not. Now, because of the lack of chances created, there's a lot of pressure on Haggart now to deliver a good delivery to Tubbs and Brewitt.
It's an outswinger towards the back stick, won initially by Orange County, but then not out of trouble by the Lexington back line and still going forward. And this first time effort from Ward doesn't get past the first defender. Slip from Haggart, now will deliver. Snapped header over everyone and everything.
We were talking about some of the players losing their footing. Just saw Haggart again. Of course, that skewed his cross. Tyler, it's time for everybody's favorite game show. It's time to guess the possession. In the second half alone, Tyler, give or take, does Lexington above 50% or above 45%?
Above 45.
You will be correct, Tyler. 48%. That's 1 point to Mr. Terrence. Now, Tyler, let's talk about shots. Shots for Lexington.
7.
Let's just talk second half alone there, Cowboy. How many shots in the second half Lexington has had
None.
on the Orange County goal? 2 for 2 for the play-by-play commentator. He's on a roll. Let's talk about corners. How many corners has Lexington gotten in the second half alone?
1, and I'll get to that in a second because they might be able to muster up a third here as this goes just wide. It did take a deflection, and sure enough, they are able to win that corner.
So that'll be how many corners now, you think?
In the second half?
Alone.
They're second.
3 for 3. Somebody's paying attention.
Why do you sound so surprised?
That was part of the check.
Oh, man. It's the first time I've gotten 100 on a test in a long time since I was asked to spell
Lexington
cat.
are going to hire you.
I'm a data analytics guy. What can I say? Blaine Ferry with the in-swinger. Pinballs around. It's loose in front and cleared away. Rando was on his backside and wasn't able to get there, but thankfully for him, a teammate was just in front of him as this is pinged back into a dangerous spot. And once again, Orange County with some emergency defending. Well, and Lexington will generate their third corner of the second half.
Because both teams have been so ironclad on the defensive end, set pieces now have become so valuable for each side that now Lexington may have their best opportunity to conjure up a goal as their center backs come into the fray.
Kendall Burke's one of the big bodies that Aaron Malloy is going to be looking to pick out, although most of his delivery has been towards the back stick.
Good crowd tonight. Look at that.
Great crowd on a beautiful evening in Irvine, California. And they're hoping that they're going to be able to see their side steal all 3 points. Kendall Burks is claiming the last touch came off of Orange County, and instead it's going to be another goal kick. And here comes Lateef Blessing. who has spent some time with the likes of Sporting Kansas City, but more importantly LAFC, where he backed plenty of goals and assists for Bob Bradley, including winning a Shield and an MLS Cup in 2022 and making his first appearance here in 2026 for Lexington after dealing with some injuries at the start of the season.
And the Ghanaian can be the difference. He has that sort of pedigree to come on and unlock this Orange County defense and maybe have Lexington steal one on the road.
And this was one of the big-time signings that turned a lot of heads in the USL Championship. Just 29 years of age from Accra, Ghana. Signed from Houston last summer, where he spent 2024 and half of 2025 at the Dynamo. Also a US Open Cup winner in 2017 with Sporting Kansas City. More of an in-between-the-lines kind of player, Latif Blessing, when he's at his best. As Malloy picks up the loose ball, somehow able to keep his feet, and Javane Brown will push it out wide for Marcus Epps. Trying to run at War.
Love it. Fantastic defending, group defending by Orange County.
Meanwhile, Ethan Zubak gives it right back to Lexington.
Question is, will Marcus Epps be allowed to leave the ground after the field? Because right now, he's in handcuffs.
But part of that isn't really even on him. I mean, there have been some moments where he might have made the wrong decision and pulled it back and should have perhaps gone to Mohamedou War before cover came, but it feels like he just doesn't have at least even the threat of another option to make the defender second guess himself.
Correct. There's no decoy runners to give him an opening to go the other way.
And you have to imagine a lot of that is due to respect for Orange County and their ability to potentially go the other way if Javane Brown were to get around him and get forward, although that really hasn't been Lexington's game in terms of getting their fullbacks forward with overlapping runs. Perhaps it's part of the tactical game plan on the road and not wanting to expose yourself.
Well, I think they're trying to be so central with having their 2-8s go right through the middle of the park to join Scott that they forget to give support to the wings, and that's where the ball is coming from.
Well, now War is running right at Brown. Decent ball, Jacob Green able to deal with it. And now Blaine Ferry trying to unlock something on the other end. Epps, good ball into Latif Blessing. What can he muster up? Not much.
It's contagious.
Small business leaders, this is your moment introducing the Support OC small business packages. Get your brand in front of fans all across SoCal with special features on match day, host clients, reward employees, and build business opportunities. Head to our website to learn more. So McKinnon and Hagar both will come off. Yanni Bazzini is going to come on. In addition to Pedro Guimaraes, the 18-year-old was originally from Paoli, Pennsylvania, and moved to California at a young age. In his third season now, playing first-team football. And came up to the LAFC Academy, played for the U.S. Youth International sides, and has already made over 25 appearances. And Mohamedou War foraying into Lexington territory. And Alcazar switching the point of attack. This is lofted into a dangerous spot, and again, Lexington able to do just enough. That was Arturo Ordonez. As Danny Stone, you could hear from our crowd mic saying, keep the structure, referencing his forward line and being led by Ethan Zubak at the moment.
And maybe that could be part of the problem. I'm sorry to say this, but when you do have the ball, you want to be a bit more fluid with the players in the attacking third. If you do stay stagnant and structured, it becomes so much easier to defend when trying to progress the ball.
But on the flip side, you're not going to lose many games that way.
That's for sure.
Doesn't make for the most entertaining football, but who would want to be entertaining when you can win?
Good point.
Clever turn from Ferry, and he's able to find Malloy. And he's encouraging his comrades forward. He says, let's go. Zubak applying the pressure. Dumped away. And it's a hopeful ball, which I think at this point is being a little bit generous.
Looks like Goodrum has now picked up his natural position as striker. And he's one of those players that you can play directly to his feet or chest, Philip Goodrum. Even though he's not the tallest, he's very much a target type player, and they can play off of him.
Silla wins it back. Options to his left and right. Usman Silla still with it, taken down. Fouled just on the edge of the penalty area in some prime real estate here in Orange County, which we all know is tough to come by.
There was an opportunity to play advantage here. Fantastic, just picking the pocket. And Sia, he made the right choice eventually. This was the chance for the advantage right here, Tyler. Ethan Zubak just cut in, and there the whistle went. Here's the thing though, it's so close to the goal.
It's a little bit too close.
Can't get it up and over, have to go for power. Unless you have a Lionel Messi on the bench that we don't know about. But you probably want to try to put your laces through this one.
Or it could be a touch and hit situation where you roll it along to a player who's standing a little bit more centrally,
yes,
and just get it away from the direct firing line of the wall.
This is my chance to bring up how much I hate when people take free kicks and make it complicated. Be direct, put your laces through it, try and get it either through the wall or just in between the orange shirts. There's a little bit of a gap to the right of the wall, and there's an orange shirt trying to split them to block the keeper's view. I think that's your best opportunity.
It is a six-man wall for Lexington.
His run-up says accuracy, but this requires power.
Gainbridge runs over it, and that effort just blazes over the crossbar.
Good choice, went to the keeper's side. He did put his laces on it. He was hoping that Semley would cheat across to the near side as he went to the keeper's side.
That was Nico Benacalzar putting his foot through it and only finding the supporters behind the goal. Benacalzar up for the header, and now Silla sees it poked away from behind. You feel like any moment now will be the moment. As Ordonez keeps it moving. Jacob Green now. Into the final 5 minutes we go.
Tired legs now. Malloy, he's been working so hard in midfield. That errant pass means wobbly legs.
At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. And Orange County thought that it was certainly their possession. Instead, it's going to be thrown for Lexington.
Excellent switch. Seems that when Brown gets the ball, there's no ideas in going forward. It's either into Malloy in a 4-yard drop or back to the center backs. Very hesitant to get the ball into Epps.
Fizzed into Silla. Good things seem to happen when he's on the ball, and the commentator's curse in full effect as he gives it away. And here comes Aaron Malloy and company. Switch is the point of attack for Jacob Green.
Here's the injection of pace right here for Scott.
And he's got his brother inside the penalty area waiting for a ball, as well as potentially Latif Blessing. Or pardon me, his brother already substituted off. Blessing was waiting and ball never came.
Whether it's left or right, both wingers are being left on an island when they get the ball out there. And it's making it too easy for the defenders just to shepherd them to the sidelines or the byline.
Now Blaine Ferry after the giveaway. Dinked over the top, Blessing got a touch to it, but he was offside. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. And now the game's starting to open up just a little bit. This one dinked over the top. Gainbridge knocked off the ball. No call from the referee.
Tyler, I have to say, as of right now, Coach Hemi will be happy with this result. They've lost 3 of their last 4. We travel all the way to the west coast of Orange County. And if you can hold on to a draw here, a point is a valuable point for this Lexington team to take some confidence going into the next match.
This is a good ball out wide for War. Teasing delivery in, and that might have been the moment for Orange County. And Ethan Zubak knows that that was a real missed opportunity. He just mistimed the header.
Well, Zubak is known for his aerial play and strength. And he should have done better. It was a good delivery. Mohamed War, with all his speed and quickness, gets to the byline right on top of the 6-yard box. And Zubak has to do better with that delivery.
As it stands right now, Orange County and San Antonio FC tied for first in the Western Conference unless Orange County can pull out a win. Trailing right behind them is El Paso Locomotive on 13 points. Kendall Burke striding out of the Lexington defense, trying to conjure something up.
Whoever scores here wins, Tyler.
Malloy wants to go direct. Arteta.
Beautiful.
Gainbridge felt like there was a handball involved. Stays in play. Brown. Good presence of mind to find Latif Blessing in a positive forward fashion. And now Malloy chops it around the first defender, slides it through. And Orange County defending right into the last again.
The recovery by Brewitt was exceptional.
Silla picks it up. And now the foul is going to be called. Referee did well there. He was trying to let the advantage unfold.
Excellent job by referee Hassan, allowing the play to develop, brings it back. But Brewitt's defending from that reverse ball by Malloy was fantastic. And here was the foul right there. And then he brings it back after the advantage was taken away by Sia. That was Brooks taking no prisoners, and he was cautioned.
Already 30 seconds into the 2 minutes that have been added on at the minimum. Number still forward for Orange County. Can they steal it at the death? Or are we headed for a third straight draw between these two sides in their third all-time meeting? Contact, no call. Ferry trying to turn out. Referee says play on again. And the shot is a weak one and covered up by Semley.
This may be the last sequence. Can Lexington build something up and get the ball towards the 18-yard box and get a shot off, a cross in, anything?
War asking for it on the right-hand side, and it will find the right back. Might be the final play of the game, and the header coming in is late, and they're claiming that it took a touch, Ethan Zubak. Big collision amongst the two Lexington players, and a shout for a head injury on Kendall Burks, and the referee obviously is going to stop the play and allow the athletic training staff to come on.
Again, it's War getting behind that back line on this near side. Good ball outside here. Another teasing delivery. And yeah, the two defenders, here's the collision. Orange County want the corner. Lexington wants the whistle.
And the crowd here at the Champ knowing that this might be the beginning of what could be a very dramatic play that they'll remember for a long time if they can steal this at the death.
Pruitt is pumping up his players in the 18-yard box. Can the Scows get on the end of this?
And this will be the final play of the night. Pedro Guimaraes on top of the corner. It will be an in-swinger. Kendall Burks is waiting to be waved back out onto the field after suffering the head injury.
I love the fact that they put the left foot over there. In-swing up. This ball is going to be right in Semley's kitchen.
So Lexington are down a man for the final play of the night. Guimaraes sends it in, won by Lexington. Full time. Referee won't even let that action happen. Orange County can't believe it. That's how the game is going to end. Danny Stone can't believe it. One of the most bizarre sequences you're going to see. The spoils are shared. No goals to be had here in Southern California. And it's the third straight draw in the 3 meetings that these two teams have had.
Well, the fans can't believe it. The players can't believe it. They're talking to the referee like, how do you build off on a set piece? And in the end, both teams will take a point, and Lexington, this is more of a win for them. Orange County, it's going to feel like a loss.
Well, Lexington travel nearly halfway across the country, and they're able to get a point against the top team in the Western Conference. They'll feel good about that. Perhaps a moment dropped for Orange County. We'll wrap it up when we come back.
Every morning I draw a line. I've painted thousands of them. The lines are simple, but what happens within them is magical. Some lines divide, but not this one. It's the common thread for our shared love for the game. Soccer, football, call it what you want. This line, this team, it brings each of us to a common ground, the line that connects us. We, OCSC.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
This is incredible technology. We can actually solve drunk driving.
We are here to send a very strong message. Drunk driving must stop.
We are educators, supporters, listeners, and most of all, we are relentless. Because one life lost is one too many. Together, we can end impaired driving for good. Join the movement. Drive change. Save lives.
Full time here at the Champ. No score between Orange County and Lexington is how it ends. And Danny Stone and Mac Hemme will settle for a point apiece. hard fought to say the least, and a bizarre ending, and one of the most bizarre endings you're going to see in a game for a long, long time. A corner that was essentially not allowed to be taken by Orange County. It was played in at the back post, and then the referee decides to blow the whistle, but that is how it finishes in Irvine. And Mohamedou Warren Company tried to do all that they could to very stingy defensive sides. And we're going to say so long from SoCal. Adults and babies alike, mascots, soccer related or not. Couple of saves, not a high XG, no goals. Mac Hemi trying to shrug it off without a win yet again. For our entire crew here at USL and Ryan Davis, Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. The final score, Orange County 0, Lexington 0. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.